Welcome to the Nightmare Exchange, where we collect nightmares as they were experienced by the dreamer and shared for the world to fear. You have a scary story? Send it to Cory. You have a scary dream? Send it to Neem, the Nightmare Exchange Man. That's me. I'm him.
What do you think?
What? I'm doing my night.
What do you think?
No. Nope. I mean, actually, you look like you lost weight. Yep. Yeah.
Alright guys, so I'm going to go first. Now this nightmare is a little bit weird. For clarity, right, this is not actually applied to me. This is not real. This is a nightmare that I had. Here we go. I dreamed that I was in what at first seemed like a boys' prison or like a boot camp. One of those places they send troubled youths to. In my dream, I belonged there. So I had done something to be there, but it wasn't terrible. It's just like, you know, as a normal bad kid, a delinquent. I was like a tougher version of my true self, brave enough to take care of myself, but kind enough to not prey on weaker boys. So we're outside, right, at this boys camp or boot camp. Really, it's like a prison type of vibes, but it's for young boys. So we're outside, right? We're out there for recreation. We're playing football. You can imagine that's probably one of the most fun things you can do, right? Playing football in a place like that. Very intense game, very competitive. You know, we're having fun, but we're also kind of like going at it. You know, you got your rivals and all that stuff. So it's like an intense game. And there's this like adult male counselor there, right? Is this guy, he's one of the people that's in charge. He's really like a prison guard, right? But, you know, he's involved with the boys. He's involved with the youth. I think counselor is probably the right term. But the guy, he's like known for being cruel, creepy, and crooked. He's basically a predator, right? And he works in this boys boot camp. And the guy's, you know, he's pretty big, right? He's big enough to bully like tough teenage boys. Think about a collection of delinquent youths and whatnot, right? This guy's big enough and bad enough to bully those kids around. So we're in the middle of the game, and he basically just like falsely accuses me of sexually assaulting another kid in the middle of the game. In retrospect, I guess he was gonna say I touched another boy or something in the game or something like that, right? It was random, and like I definitely didn't do anything in my dream in that, you know, in that situation. That was kind of the scenario, and he just blurts out loud, right? He just kind of says like, "Oh, so you're a pervert?" You know, he just like puts it out there like that. You have to imagine the scenario, right? I'm like, we're playing football. There's lots of people watching the game and everything. He just like, this guy says this, and he says it about me. And so it's like a pretty dirty trick, right? It's like immediately sort of makes everyone look at me, creates a feel as if he saw me do something. It was kind of like, oh, he saw it, and now everyone's just looking at me as if I'm already guilty and kind of like trying to see what I did. But there's other boys there that know that this guy is a predator, and they have been victimized by him. And so they know what he's doing to me. These other boys, they've been victimized by him, and they know what's happening to me. They're too scared to do anything about it. As you ever watch like shows about prison or how to survive in you know, juvenile prison, you mind your business. You do not try to save other people. You do not get involved with conflicts that aren't yours or aren't, you know what I mean, your gang or whatever. Like there's no being a hero in a place like that. Every man is expected to stand up for himself. That mentality is in the place, right? That's what the vibes are. And because it's a nightmare, again, I know in my mind that his plan is to trap me in that place so that he can abuse me. Remember, this guy's a predator. He wants to trap me there so that he can abuse me and torture me and basically like take my hope away, right? He wants me to be stuck. He chose me as his next victim, and he wants to just like kind of control me, right? So it's just kind of a really scary feeling because I know that's kind of what he's thinking about trying to do in this situation, and that's why he, you know, put that accusation on me. That's when the fear of the nightmare really started to like overwhelm me, you know what I mean? So I started really feeling like scared and afraid, right? Like those are the kind of feelings that'll eventually make you wake up. You know, he's accusing me of crimes that they don't let you out for, and so they keep me there longer, and it like wears me down, and I get like You know, eventually I start losing my mind. And so like I have this vision of this future where I'm like, I know that I'll be like losing my mind. I'm going to be trapped, and all of that together just makes it impossible for me to ever get released from this system. I'm going to be in some kind of terrible, insane asylum for the rest of my life. That is when I woke up, right? I woke up scared, still feeling like this sadness and emptiness of being an innocent person trapped in a prison because someone evil decided that they wanted to hurt me. I imagine that I'd be feeling alone and powerless, and knowing that there's this person who has like an evil person who has unlimited power, control, and is plotting to abuse me as long, you know what I mean? Basically forever, because I'm probably never going to get out. The other kids, they all kind of avoided this guy, and they just basically hoped that he didn't choose them. But if he did, there was nothing that you could do about it. No one could do anything about it, and everyone just kind of like would basically try to forget about you, because from that point on, you're gone. I know, that was weird. Well, imagine how it felt to nightmare it. Yeah. Okay, so now that I've broken the ice, it's time for you to send your nightmares to me. Send scripts for reading to mr.mathematics.mission@gmail.com. Send links of narration or edited videos at Mr_Maff_mission with the hashtag #TheNightmareExchange.
And if it's scary enough, we'll share it here for the world to fear.